Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and oh, hi everybody. What is going on? It is Gale here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Battle Chronicle video. And today we are here with a brand new tier list update. And of course, it's been a while since we've done a tier list update. Of course, since the last time we did the tier list update, which was when Mikoro and Hegy released last month, we've had a lot of units, released in the game since then. Of course, a lot of fest units, which obviously we know that they're trying to drain as much money out of us as possible, but we've got a couple of fest units to go over. We have the brand new eyes and Lafia as well to go over, and a couple of scene cards as well to rank and put into the tier list. So of course, if you guys going to enjoy today's video, remember to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more content, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about the tier list? Would you guys change anything? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Now we're going to start off with the adventure side because we have 4 units to take a look at. I think this is the most we've had in a long time, in a very long time. I think the last time we had like 4 units released at the same time and be updated into tier list. I don't know, summer last year. Literally, I think it might have been summer last year because I can't remember having like 4+ units come out and we have to rank all of them in one go. Usually it's like 3 units per patch usually, but this time around it's 4, and these 4 are all very interesting units in some way, shape or form, and especially because 3 of them are fest units, of course, right? So I'm not gonna let that go. I'm not letting that slide, that we have gotten free fest units in the span of 3 weeks, man. It's absolutely nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts, and it's kind of the reason why I've been waiting to do the tier list update, because I was like, well, if they're releasing units every single week now, it's kind of like, well, I may as well just wait until they release all of them and then I can make the video. And to be quite honest, this might be the last week we actually have a fest banner, because from the data mines, of course, we don't have Alan or Hegy in the files, and I don't see them doing a data download this week because a lot of the stuff that's coming out this week or this upcoming week has already been added into the files. Stuff like the login bonus, New Year's login bonus, paid reroll gachas, reroll gacha, the free reroll gacha, and so on and so forth, that we still don't have as well. That's already in the file. So I don't think we're going to be getting Alan or Hegy for the time being. They will be probably coming out when the anime returns, most likely. But still, nonetheless, it's crazy that we even had 3 fest units, and it would have potentially been 5 fest units in a row every single week, which would have been insane. But anyways, I've ranted about that enough in my separate video, and there will still be some videos coming up. I will tell you guys that much for sure. There will be 1 or 2 more videos coming out talking about all of that. But let's start off with Hegy first and foremost. So Hegy, in my opinion, is an easy SS. He basically takes the spot of eyes as the second best green unit, DPS that is, in this list, to be quite honest, frankly speaking, or third best actually, to be honest. It's a deliberation between Wind Ryu as well. Wind Ryu can be really good. Eyes is just a little bit more easier to use, but I think Hegy basically takes that role. To be quite honest, he's really good. Just a shame that he's not as good as Wind Bell is what I would say, which I guess it's a shame, but it's also nice that he isn't, because it kind of allows us to save up our Selas a little bit more. But yeah, I think Hegy is very good, very strong, has good knockback on his attack, good range, very strong skill as well. The only thing I would complain about him, if anything, is probably that second skill of his has too short of a range. Every other skill on him is fine. It's just that second skill you can so easily miss, so easily miss. And so for me, I think that's what kind of pushes him away from that triple S rank, is small minor things like that, and just generally also not having the perfect scene card selection for his repertoire, his skill set. It's just not there, whereas like Wind Bell has that advantage of having scene cards that are like literally written in his name and stuff, you know what I mean? So I guess that's his advantage big time there. Eyes, the brand new Eyes, I want to put her in S+. I know a lot of people are probably getting a bit misled by the brand new event. In my opinion, I think a lot of people are. She is very interesting, in all honesty, no doubt about it. The whole water counter shield and everything is super fascinating, but I feel like the event, for one, is kind of misleading people, because remember, she gets 200% stats in the event. And second of all, the nature of the way the game is, of course, in some game modes you're gonna get hit, like raids and stuff, for example, you're gonna get hit there. But in most other cases, right, a lot of people tend to just actively dodge the attacks, whereas in Aiza's case you want to get hit. So that just nature of trying to dodge and trying to stay away from attacks is going to leave Aiza a little bit vulnerable in that situation, in my opinion. And so I will put her in S+. She's still very good, but I feel like Chloe is a little bit easier to use, and I feel like in the right situations you're probably going to see Chloe being a little bit better, in my opinion, a little bit more consistent. And then of course scene card wise as well, having that Pumpkin Knight scene card, which is basically the poison version of Golden Time, which allows her to basically regenerate her special move at an insane rate if you have poison on the enemy. I think that gives her an advantage, in my opinion. So I think I'm going to put Eyes in S+. A part of me is feeling like maybe pushing her to SS, but I think S+ is more than fine for her at this moment in time. I just don't think she's as good as what she should have been, maybe as a brand new water DPS. And speaking of not being as good as they should have been, Alfric is a solid S, man. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed this unit, to be quite honest. Like, don't get me wrong, they are still decent. And in MSS and stuff, if you go into MSS, they'll be very good. But outside of that, in just normal gameplay, in game modes that you're probably going to be playing in more, I don't see him being that great, in my opinion. I just don't see him being that great. I have him at A0. I just don't like him at all. It's just not been fun using this guy. And these bros, they're just not good. This is not a Fest unit design whatsoever. This unit is the reason why I think they were initially going to make them general pool units, but then because they want money from us, they decided to make them Fest units. This was just the worst decision to summon on at all, to be quite honest. Like, even for collection purposes, I mean, great, I have them, but it's like, well, I don't want them kind of thing, you know? It's just useless. It's just 2,800 Selas that I just threw down the drain to get one copy of these guys. It's crazy. I could have used that luck for the next unit in Ryulion. We'll come on to it in a second, but yeah. The Gulliver Brothers, absolutely not worth it, man. I genuinely think that this was probably the worst summon I could have done, to be quite honest. It's just not worth it. And the reason why I'm being so harsh on them, even though they're in S, is because I feel like if you're a Fest unit, if you're going to be called a Fest unit, and if you're gonna put a premium tag on it and a premium tax on it, 20 Rainbow Wands to awaken the unit as well and everything, and you're doing this, it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. So S is there. And then Ryu, of course. I mean, should I say more? Triple S, easily one of the best units in the game, if not the best unit in the game right now. A phenomenal unit, even at A0 as well. All you need realistically for her is Golden Time. Once you get Golden Time for her, you are in a very golden spot. Forgive my puns and all, but like, this is exactly what a golden standard unit should be, that you're gonna put the Fest title on. I really think Hegy and Gulliver Brothers were meant to be general pool units, and then maybe Ryu was going to be Fest anyways. I don't know. This is up to them to decide, what to do and what not to do. But I would have done that at least. Hegy and Gulliver Brothers as general pool, and then make Ryu a Fest unit. I think everybody would have been fine with that, to be quite honest, and a lot more people would have been happier. But anyways, that's besides the point. Ryu is just insanely strong. Once you get Justice's answer going, of course, right, through her special move, you get her Justice activated, and of course you can keep that up for a long period of time thanks to Golden Time and everything, right? Once you get that going, and once you're able to use her second skill and first skill and everything, she is amazing. Very strong unit. Very, very strong unit. And the multipliers you can get from having Justice's Awakening up and everything is really good. It's really, really solid. They did a very good job in designing her kit, making her a phenomenal unit. And what I would say is the best way to describe her is that you look at Otaral and what he was a couple of months ago or a year ago, basically, at this point in time when he first dropped. It's exactly the same right now. Ryu is just an evolution of Otaral, basically. Like, same concept. Very strong, very good defensively, but even better offensively as well. Like, it's really good to see that they designed her like this. This is what basically a fire tank should have been, and not, where's the dude? This guy over here, Wealth over here. It's crazy. This is amazing. This is amazing. Like, I would generally say, if you go for Ryu, get her to A0, get her one copy at least. You don't need to really go for dupes. Instead, I'd probably say, if you have the Selas, a decent amount of Selas, then go for Harmonia, but prioritize Ryu, man. She's been phenomenal to use. I've been testing her a little bit. Again, I'll make a proper full-length video tomorrow going over her. I wanted to get this out first and foremost because people were asking me about the tier list and about everybody's position. I do think Ryu is great, man. I've been using her a little bit here and there, and she has been amazing at A0. Like, I want to get more copies of her just because then that way I can test her out even at higher awakenings and have her at higher awakenings as well. But even at like A0, I'm having a blast using her. It's been really good, man. It's been really good. The next thing we have is, of course, the assist side, and we obviously have Lafia. Now, Lafia, I'm gonna put in S. I don't think she's doing that much more than Summer Mikoto to put her in SS. I think S is a more than fine enough spot. She's not like absolutely cracked out of her mind where she's like stupidly broken, but she does a solid enough job in actually being a phenomenally usable and fantastic unit, and especially considering the lack thereof of water assists as well in the game. You know, having one more that's capable of, you know, supporting the team and being in the team even, I should say, is amazing. So I would probably put that in S, no doubt of my mind, no doubt in my mind whatsoever. Now we move on to the scene cards, and it's all very simple scene cards. So this one is basically giving you action skill damage, if I'm not mistaken, at for water units that are and enemies that have been inflicted with bind. And for that reason, I'm gonna put it in S. I'm putting it in A+. Sorry, I was gonna put it in S. Part of me was putting it in S, but I'm gonna put it in A+. And the reason why I'm doing that is because you have so many conditions applied to it, right, to get that action skill damage and everything. First and foremost, you need the enemy to be binded. You need to be a water unit. And so those two conditions, right, when I say a lot of conditions, there's only two conditions realistically, but those two conditions in itself are so tricky because you need a unit that's capable of binding, and there are only 3 units that can do that: Asfi, Tione, the tank Tione, and Eyes herself, the new Eyes. While a lot of people will probably have Asfi to be able to help with binding and everything, you have to do a whole switch of malarkey and everything, and then you have to make sure that this scene card is on a water unit. So you have to make sure that Asfi is paired up with a water unit in those situations, which it's not unlikely, especially for raids. Potentially it could work, but it's just such a very tricky scenario to achieve, and I feel like for the grand scheme of things, you're not gonna see this being applied that much unless you have the Eyes unit itself. So for me, I'm putting it in A+. I might be being a bit harsh here, but it's not like this scene card, which is 80% HP and that's it. And even that 80% HP is super easy to accomplish because of things like Harmonia and all of those units. Golden Time, I put it in S because of the fact that you need the enemy to be burning. I love this scene card, and I think it's definitely one of the better scene cards for sure. But I put it there because of the whole burning enemy thing. Even though I think now, with so many units that are capable of burning, the new Ryu, Wind Bell, Haruhime, and so on and so forth, it's a lot easier. It's why I've put the poison version of the scene card, Pumpkin Knight, in A+ as well. I think there's not many units that can poison, so of course I'm going to put it in A+ because of that. And it's the same thing here. Bind is just not that common of an ability, and then you're also further limited by being water units only as well. So like, it's crazy. I wouldn't put it that high. This scene card is gonna go into its normal attack damage. I'll put it in A+. I think along with a lot of the other like scene cards that are available in the shop right now for the battle pass and everything, I think I'm gonna put it alongside them. Normal attack damage is all very good and stuff, but again, it's just limited by, of course, the whole roll thing and then having only 30% cooldown and stuff. This scene card is basically like the Revis's attack scene card, which I've got in, I think, in A, and I'm gonna also put it in A. Again, a very solid scene card, limited by the fact that you need a water unit, and also that basically it goes only on like tanks primarily. So Philvis and even the brand new Eyes will be able to use it technically because of her whole counter endurance thing, but again, very restricted, very restricted in who actually can probably use it and maximize it the most, in my opinion. So that's the tier list for this week and this month, I would say. Of course, if we get anything new, I'll come back and update it, of course, right, with a couple of different characters and stuff. But let me know, do you guys agree with the tier list or not? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, all that sort of good stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.